Good afternoon. Today topic is library classification. So first we know what is classification. Library is a collection of materials of both printed and non-printed form. So traditionally we know, or in ancient time, that library is only for preservation or conservation. The kings and the royal peoples in ancient times, they developed their library only for preservation purpose, not for public use. But nowadays the right to information provide the users the equal right of every user to use the library. That's why the library should adopt the modern technology to provide the services or better services to their users. The library resources can be better utilized through proper knowledge organization and processing. That's why the classification is one of the technical or one of technical services to provide the better service to the users. As we are facing the complex situation, we need the systematic arrangement of document. In every field, we need the proper or systematic arrangement of every documents. That's why we follow the classification technique in library. Classification means simply means that division of things or ideas on the basis of common quality or common characteristics. The classification is a day-to-day phenomenon in every activity. In our house, we should arrange the documents in a proper order. Suppose kitchen documents were arranged in kitchen, study room documents were kept in study room. That's why you adopt the classification techniques in every activities of human life or human beings. The systematic arrangement can be possible with the classification techniques. The library follow this technique to provide the efficient and effective service to their users. Then the word classification is derived from the Latin word classics, which means grouping of things or ideas on the basis of their common quality. Melville Dewey is the father of modern library classification, who defined that classification is the separation of one thing from other things on the basis of common quality, like the writing materials. Then Ranganathan, who is known as the father of library science in India, they said in his book, Prolegomena of Library Classification, discussed the meaning of classification as the arrangement and division of things in a predetermined sequence, in a systematical arrangement sequence. Then the library classification has been defined both by the classifications and the critics. Classification means who prepare the classification, and critics means who are the subject expert. According to W.B. Sayer, who is the grammarian of classification, they said that classification as the arrangement of books on shelves or description of them in the manner which is most useful to those who read. It is the translation of the name of natural language into an artificial language. Suppose we are convert the student's name into a roll number. This is the notation of the classification. We transfer the natural language into a artificial language on the basis of use of ordinal numbers. The need of library classification. What is the need or what is the requirement of classification in our library? Library is a non-profit making social organization. That's why we display our resources in front of the user, or we are exploit our resources. First, to meet the subject approach of the user. Classification is based totally on the subject. It is the class number of the document or the subject approach of the user. The first need is to fulfill the subject approach of the subject requirement of the user. User means who use the library, either student, staff, non-teaching staff, or any person of the society. Then to meet the language problems, the documents now published in various forms like English, Oriya, Sanskrit, Bengali, all the forms. The library should apply this technique to avoid this language problem. Suppose the one book is published in Urdu or in Bengali. All the users don't know about the Urdu and Bengali. They should know the numbers. We are convert the Urdu or the Bengali language into the 891. This is the languages numbers in our classification schedule. So this is how to arrange the language problem, how to meet the language problems. Then the collateral subject can be brought together in a library. Suppose a document or a subject that is related documents like social science, education, political science or economics, there are collateral subjects that is come under social science. There are come under 300 main classes. This is the classification. We arrange the collateral subject into one place. So we know that it is the subject that is related to each other. The collection arranged by accession number or author or title. Accession number is the serial number of books or collection in a library, or the author of the books or title, but not by the subject. The books on the same subject will be scattered throughout the collection. Scatter means one subject book, suppose in library science one author is S.R. Ranganathan, another author is C.A. Katar or Krishna Kumar. The S.R. Ranganathan book are scattered or divide than the Krishna Kumar books. So we follow the classification technique to avoid the scattering nature of documents. Then to meet the growth of documents, the library acquires new documents from time to time. To avoid this financial burden or the growth of documents, to follow our classification technique. Then the various purpose and forms of documents are to be arranged systematically. Suppose various form, that is abridged version or unabridged version or a large size volume dictionary or a small size documents or any literature form of documents are to be arranged systematically by the use of classification technique. Then to fulfill the second, third and fourth law of library science. In every subject we know there is some laws and some rules. In library science there are 5 rules or 5 laws. First law is books are for use, that is the all books of the library should be used. Second law is every reader or his or her book, that means to provide equal rights to the students or the users. Third law is every book its reader, this is the every book. The book which are selected in the library should be used. Every book has its readers. Then fourth law is save the time of the reader or user. This is the most important law of the library, to save the time of the readers. The second, third and fourth law automatically fulfill if we adopt the library classification techniques in our library. Then what is the function or the work of library classification in libraries? It provides a helpful sequence. It brings the related materials in close proximity. As you told there, suppose social science subject, that is come under the 300. Pure science or science subject come under the 500. Then the technology subject come under 600. As you know that this is the related materials or related subject. It helps to arrange the documents in a very systematic order. Then the identification and location of documents on a given subject wanted by a reader can be provided, whatever may be the size of library copy. Suppose our library has 50,000 books. So we find our required documents immediately if we follow the classification technique. Then after 10 years or 5 years our collection is 1 lakh. Then also we will follow or identify our documents if we follow the classification techniques. Then when new documents are added to the library collection, library classification provides an appropriate place for the newly added document in their old documents. Suppose we are our college in our 15 or 20 subject. One subject is library science. Library science one book has purchased in 2007. Then another book is purchased in 2024. This is already kept to the library science rack. So it is provided the new documents their appropriate place with their old documents. Then it assists in organizing book displays and exhibition. The library or the society maximum arrange the book exhibition. If we want to publish one subject or one subject book display, this is helped with the classification technique. If we want to display the Odia fiction or Odia drama or English fiction, then we should apply the classification technique. That's why you know what is the book comes under Odia fiction or Odia drama. Then it facilitated withdrawal of document from the library collection. If our main library we withdraw some documents or withdraw some books for seminar library purpose or some book exhibition purpose, then first we know what is the books comes under which subject books we want to withdraw from the large collection. Then stock verification is a very important aspect of library classification. Stock verification means we should verify our stock. In yearly once, we should verify our library collection. It assists in organizing book display and exhibition. If we want to conduct in our library some exhibition, some subject exhibition like Odia fiction, Odia drama or any literature exhibition, then we know what is the books comes under the Odia fiction or Odia drama. Then we follow the classification technique. That's why you know which books come under the which subject. It facilitates withdrawal of document from library collection. Suppose we want to give our some books, some subject books to our seminar library. The first we know which books comes under this subject. That's why we follow the classification technique to know that which books comes under which subject. Then stock verification is a very important aspect of library classification. Stock verification yearly conducted once. First, we close the library permanently or we partially close the library if we conduct the stock verification. In stock verification, we kept our library accession register to match with the library collection. Then we find out which books are misplaced or which books are lost. Then stock rectification. Stock rectification means to place their books in their right place. Suppose a library science book has kept in the economics rack, then we keep the library science book in a proper place. This is known as the self rectification. This the self rectification and stock verification is possible only with the help of library classification. Then it helps in the compilation of subject union catalog and bibliography of books. A bibliography means we prepare in the subject bibliography. If we want to prepare the library science subject bibliography, then the whole books are published under the library science. We prepare the bibliography of library science. Then if you prepare union catalog means more than 2 or 3 libraries prepare their catalogs. If they prepare under the subject, this is known as subject union catalog. Then it helps in recording the daily issue of documents at the circulation counter. Circulation counter means in which place we issue and return our documents. If we know the popularity of the books in our library, then first we check the circulation counter, which books are or which subject books are maximum issue or which subject books are not issue. This is show the popularity of the subject in our college. Then library classification provide the right book to the right reader at the right time. This is the main motto or the main rule of the library. This provide the right user to the right book. Suppose a user go to the library and they want the economics book or library science book. Then the librarian should take their 1 hour or 2 hours, then they give for another books. So this is the situation when the user not come next time to the library and they ask their friends that library is not good, the librarian is not good. That's why you provide the right book to the right reader at the right time. That's why our library motto or the library exploitation of resources or use of the resources properly done. Then it acts as a efficient bibliographical control and a retrieval tools. Retrieval tools means to access the documents in a large amount of documents. The library is a large amount of information. If we follow classification technique, then we access the particular document from the large amount of documents. Then non-book materials like microfilm, photographs, cartography materials and other microforms can be properly classified if we follow the classification technique. Then library classification provide the specific information and suggestion received from the user or reader or the reference queries. If we first we know what is reference. Reference source means which you refer like dictionary, encyclopedia, directory, your book. If we want some question about our reference sources, this is known as reference question. Classification provides the specific information and suggestion from the users and the reference question. Then conclusion, classification is the main important part for the efficient management of any library services. That's why if we know that documents are the foundation of libraries, suppose libraries without document, there is no value. Likewise, classification is the foundation of libraryship. So it is the library classification. Thanks.